Hello and good day to you. We are going to start talking about our Algebra 2 Semester 1 exam. We are going to go through the test that they gave out in 0809, so just a few years ago. Almost all of the questions are very much like what you guys are going to see on your semester exam here in mid-January. Um, any of the questions that aren't real close, I'm going to throw a couple different examples on there to make sure that nothing surprises us as we get ready for that test. So, moving right on along. Here we are, question number 1. Looking at 3 over 5, trying to figure out what type of number is it. Well, integers, those are our normal, like, negative 2 or 4. Integer, this is a fraction. Fraction, it is not. Natural numbers, those are what you first learn when you're a kid. You start counting on Sesame Street. Not this one. Rational, rational means ratio, which literally just means it is a fraction. So, definitely going to be rational. Unless they find some way of putting I here, every number they can put here is going to be real. I is the only one that we know is not real, because we made it up. So we're always going to choose real. And lastly, whole number. Well, it's definitely not whole, it's a fraction. So we're looking for 3 and 4, and C is our answer. Number 2, just a little plug some numbers in here, make sure we take care of our negative signs. So minus 3, I'm going to put in parentheses my negative 1 minus my d, which is 5. So order of operations stuff is all we're really doing here. Going to make sure we take care of this first. That's minus times negative 3 now minus 5. So the negative of negative 8. And we all know that two negatives have to make a positive. So we're looking for that positive 8. So far so good. Should be feeling good about our test. Simplified form. So here, I'm just kind of doing a little distribution first. Getting a 3x plus 6. Make sure that we distribute with that negative sign here and take both of those. Minus 10x plus 20. Collecting our like terms, x's are going to go together first. You want to make sure that's not just 10, it's a minus 10. So we get negative 7x. Bam, bam. And then 6 and 20 are going to make plus 26. And get us our final answer there. So far, all nice, easy stuff. Algebra 1 things that we've been doing all the time. And then they hit you with number 4 here with these crazy fractions. So what's the problem with number 4? Well, we need to get rid of the fractions. We don't like them, might as well get rid of them. How do we do that? Well, we need to get them all to have the same base. And I'm going to get them all to be a 6 because we can multiply 3 and 2 and make the 6. What do I multiply 3 by to make 6? 2. So I'm going to multiply my top and my bottom by 2. 2 I need to multiply by 3, so I'm going to multiply my top and my bottom by 3. So now what this is going to change our equation into is 2 times 2 makes 4x, kind of over 6 here, plus 3 times 1 is 3 over 6 now, equals my 5 over 6. Now since every single thing here is over 6, we don't even need to worry about that anymore. And all we have to do is deal with our top stuff. So we've changed our equation and we've made it into 4x plus 3 equals our 5. So now it's just a nice little two-step. Subtract our 3 on both sides and then divide by our 4. And 2 over 4 is going to reduce to 1/2. Nice. If you're really adventurous, you can take these fraction answers and plug them in here for the x to see which one's going to work. But I doubt anybody's going to really want to do that. So maybe you'll remember, hey, just multiply both of these by something to make that one. Or maybe you'll just be the kid that guesses and moves on with your life. You'll probably guess on this one too because, oh my goodness, it looks scary. There's all these letters. And what does it say? V equals 1/3 pi r squared h. It says it wants us to have r all by itself. And if we didn't know that, all of our answers say r equals. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my r. We want to think about how do we solve for things. We always do things opposite. So my first thing I notice is, hey, how do we get rid of a square? We take a square root. So it means my answer is going to have a square root in it. So it's got to be one of these two. So far we've done no math. We're already down to 2 choices. And the only real difference here is whether our 3 is on top or the 3 is on the bottom. And again, we're worrying about things being opposites. Over here, my 3 is on the bottom. So where is it going to be in my answer? It's going to be on the top. So that's right here. And A is going to be my answer. Is that really the easy math way to do it? Yeah, but we could go through all the steps, which is going to be to multiply by reciprocals, divide by pi on h, and then take the square root at the end. You're not going to have to do that. It's multiple choice, which means all the answers are there. We just need to find them. And to me, that's the easiest way. Just look for your opposites and work things out. Alright, here, so number 6. Big old long crazy equation. We want to solve for y. So we want to make things at the very end say y equals all of the other stuff that we can have. So let's first get some like terms together. 2x minus 6x is a negative 4x. My 5y is still there. Anything that I could put together on my right side? Nope. So I'm just going to rewrite it, which I know takes up a whole 4 seconds of your time, but it's worth it because you'll keep things organized. Now again, we're trying to solve for y, so I'm going to add my 4x to both sides and move it over. And at the same time, this might get crazy, but I'm going to subtract y from both sides as well. That way, kind of save a little space and just do a couple steps at the same time. So here I'm going to get 4y equals, this is going to give me 14x, and my minus 8 is still here. Last but not least, we divide everything by 4, and I mean everything. Let's get that guy out of there. So that cancels that out, leaves y like we wanted, 14 over 4. If we simplify that, cut it in half, that's 7 over 2x, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Where does that get us? C. Looks good. So, not too bad, but we do need to make sure we collect like terms first. And we want to remember when we do that, if it's on the same side of the equal sign, we do the same sign that the things show. If we're moving things over, like what we're doing here, that's when you do opposite signs, when you're moving things across the equal sign. But if it's on the same side, you do the same signs. So number 7 here, a little absolute value inequality, equation. So what we do here is we kind of take and put negative 20 out in front. Negative 4x minus 8 equals 20. We do that because the absolute value means that my inside stuff here could have been positive 20 or negative 20. We don't know because the absolute value made it positive no matter what. So we just kind of solve them both at the same time. It's just an easy little trick. Mathematically, it's not really right, but it saves us trouble, and I know you kids don't really like writing things down. So if we have to write down a little bit less, I don't think you're going to mind. So now, instead of just adding 8 to both sides, I have to add 8 to all 3 sides, and then divide by 4 on all 3 sides as well. And not just 4, my negative 4. So that cancels that out. I got my x equals in the middle. Over here we're going to get a positive 3 and a negative 7 here. So we're looking for answers with both of those, and I think B is going to work. Now on the actual semester exam, they did this one just a little bit different. They went through and made it an inequality instead. Now when we work things out, we're still going to do the same things. We're just going to put the same symbol right here and put a negative 4 here. And this actually makes it a little bit easier on us because in this case we don't have to do very much. We're just going to subtract 6. Get negative 10 here, less than x, less than negative 2. And with our inequalities, the only time anything's ever any different is if this happened to be a negative sign right here. And then when we divide by that, it would flip our symbols. But in this case, it is not. So we don't have to worry about it at all. And we would look for this exact type answer in our answers. Alright, last one we're going to look at in this video is number 8 here. We've got a little OR equation. Now if this was the one on our test and we saw OR here, at least pick one of the ones with the OR. And then these are inequality symbols, right? So don't pick the one with the equal sign. That's got to be the answer, right? Well, I would think that would be that easy. But the one on your actual semester exam, they didn't give us an or, they gave us what really is an and graph, which is x being here in the middle. We're going to work this out just like what we did on that other problem, only we've got to do some simplifying in the middle here first to make things easier on us. Get 2x minus 10. So, step by step, we're going to add our 10, not just both sides, but to all three sides. And keep our symbols there in the middle. And lastly, divide by that number 2. So I get a scary 13 halves. Whoa, why did I write a 3? It's been a long day, folks. 13 halves here, less than or equal x, less than or equal to 22 divided by 2 is 11. So this is more what your actual test question is going to look like on that semester exam. So we work through it just like what we did with the absolute value one. We don't worry about these inequality symbols. We just keep them there unless we're dividing by a negative with this number here. But I don't think that they're going to give that to you that way, so you should be free and clear. Alright, that's it. So hopefully we'll see you over here on the next video, over the next set of problems. Good day, and make good choices out there.